North Carolina, what a year for an off year they had. This was a year that was historically bad from North Carolina standards, and yet they didn't really pay the price for it and miss an NCAA tournament that was non-existent. And they didn't bring back guys, and they're going to be right back up there.
Absolutely. 3 5-star recruits and 3 4-star recruits coming in. Like you mentioned, they weren't punished. People still want to come play in Chapel Hill, play where Dean Smith once coached. And, UNC, they're going to be right up there with the top. They're returning their second best scorer in Garrison Brooks, 16 points per game. Obviously, I'm losing his name. But Anthony Cole, or Cole Anthony, he's gone. So he was hurt for them a little bit last year, and even when he came back, he put up points, but he wasn't the most efficient scorer in the world, to say the least. UNC, they're going to bounce back. We got them in a top 3 team in this conference for sure. Question is, are they going to be able to surpass UVA and finish in second place in this conference? So I'm definitely a believer in UNC being a way better team this year, and I know that you are as well.
Yeah, good recruiting class. They are front court heavy in talent. That is always a good thing when many teams are getting their key players in the backcourt. Being front court heavy is always a good thing. One of the things I would look for is how they improve in the transition game. That was something that was extremely lacking for this team last season, and that's very unlike a North Carolina team in years past. And that's not just the guards, it's giving the big men as well. Everyone's going to have to really improve in the transition game. Garrison Brooks, I think, is one of my favorites for ACC Player of the Year. I think that's the guy that's going to have to lead this North Carolina team, and he has decent pieces behind him. I think that was something that we saw last year where Cole Anthony took over and led this team. That's a problem. If you don't have guys that can successfully back up production of one good, really star guy, you're going to have problems in college basketball. That's something where North Carolina, I think, suffered. And especially when Cole Anthony went down, this team didn't really have it. And North Carolina this year has those guys thanks to one of their better recruiting class they've had in several years. This is a team like Florida State. You can solidly peg them in as third place because I don't think they're on Duke and Virginia's level. I think they are slotting in right behind them. And quite frankly, Louisville, to an extent, Florida State, and North Carolina are in Tier 1B. And that is simply because Florida State and North Carolina doesn't have that talent level to where Duke and Virginia has. We've mentioned Florida State. They're solidly in P4. I think North Carolina is solidly in P3.